Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Alexandrian Archives. I'm Mila if you're new here. Hello if you're not new here. Thank you for sticking around. Today I am doing what is probably going to be one of the only book hauls because I don't really do book hauls. Just because books are incredibly expensive in Canada and I read on my ebook reader, like my e-reader, my Kobo. I also use the library. I work at a library. I have plenty of books on my shelves that I haven't read yet, that I've collected over the years, which I should probably get going, but we're not going to talk about that because reading and book collecting are two different hobbies. I think you guys can agree with that, right? But yes, books are expensive in Canada, and I do tend to go to secondhand bookstores, but again, sometimes they just don't have the books that I want, not in the editions that I want, etc., etc., etc. And so I just sort of slowly gather the books, and as I said, this is probably going to be one of the only book hauls because I also don't have space for any new books. I have like 2 bags of books that I'm supposed to give away, but I haven't had the chance to give them anywhere, so there you go. So I've got here a collection of bought books and a collection of books that were sent to me by the publisher, which I'm eternally grateful for. Some of these include ARCs, which were sent to me by the publisher, and also finished copies that were sent to me by the publisher. Yes. Okay, so first we're gonna go with the books that I've bought. So this year I've only bought 4 books. 3 of them for me, 1 for my brother for his birthday. So I'm gonna start off with the one that I got for my little brother. So I got the Moss Heart's Promise. Oh, I think it's ruined here a little. But I got the Moss Heart's Promise by Rebecca Mix for my little brother. He turned 12 in February, earlier this month that is. It's February right now, but this is gonna go up probably in March. So earlier in February he turned 12, and I just sort of get him books every time because I am a book influencer and that's sort of the only thing I know how to gift. And he hadn't really asked me for anything specific, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to give him a new book. That's like a book, you know, not a graphic novel, which are books, but he has a lot of those. He reads them through them really quickly, and this might take him a little bit. And it's good to have a mix, right? You have shorter novels, you have graphic novels, you have comics, you have novellas. I read novellas from time to time. I read graphic novels from time to time. It's good to have a mix, you know, just so you can expand your vocabulary. This one follows a canary, or Ari, who actually lives in a terrarium, and her grandmother is taken ill by the mold, and then she finds out that she lives in a terrarium. And, you know, she never knew that, and her grandmother hid the truth, and they were supposed to leave the terrarium ages ago, but they didn't. So there we go. She has to figure out the sort of secrets and how to save her grandmother. So he's pretty excited to read this, although right now he's reading Percy Jackson, The Olympians, The Lightning Thief, because I have been begging him to do this for months, for years, and since the TV show came out, he has promised me to read all 5 books. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Next book that I bought, this is in no particular order in terms of book buying because I don't remember the order that I bought them in. Actually, I sort of do, but the other one that I bought is this really cool edition of Catching Fire. I love this very minimalistic edition. I don't like the UK Waterstones edition because it just seems too joyful, and I don't really like the editions that are sold in stores in Canada. So I definitely went hunting for this one, and I only found Catching Fire, which happens to be my favorite book, so I'm not too sad about it. But yes, this one is the second book to the Hunger Games trilogy. If you've been living under a rock, it's one of the greatest YA trilogies ever written, and it is still so relevant today. So yes, I got this in this really cool edition. It just has the Mockingjay sort of breaking out of the circle, and yeah, I have a feeling this is the UK edition because it does say £7.99 like pounds, or euros. I don't know. But yeah, it says scholastic.co.uk. So yeah, so this is book 2 that I've bought. The next book that it fell. The next book that I bought was for class, and as you can see, it has been tabbed, and I have actually written stuff in it because duh. I'm a classicist. Yeah, I don't mind writing my books. Is Ovid's Metamorphoses. I think I'm saying that correctly. I don't know because my brain reverts to metamorphosis. But since it's the SES and not SIS, I guess it's Metamorphoses. I don't know. Don't yell at me. But yeah, I got this for class and I've just been sort of reading it. These are basically the Roman versions of myths. To simply put it, it's the Roman version of all the Greek myths that you can think of. This includes Medusa, and this is the version where Medusa is the priestess of Athena, and then she is by a certain god, and Athena or Minerva gets mad and turns her into the Gorgon. Whereas in the Greek version, to put it simply for my non-classicist people, she has always been a Gorgon. And yeah, so this is that. And the last book that I bought so far this year, and considering we're in month 2, I'm not doing well, to be honest. I don't think I'll buy more than 9 books this year, because 9 books is how many I bought last year, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated halfway through the year. Is Feybound by Sarah L. Arifi. This is the February book club pick for our book club. The other book is A Drop of Venom by Sajjan Patel. I actually haven't finished it, but from what I've read, I've read quite a bit actually. I don't remember, I didn't bookmark it. It's actually really good. So basically this follows 2 elven sisters. They're elves. Elves? Yeah, she's a warrior in the elven army, Yiran, and her sister, Lettel, is trying to make a living as a diviner. And then Yiran is exiled, and Lettel follows her, and then they come across the Fae, who haven't been seen in a millennium. So apparently this is spicy too, so just an FYI. I don't know the level of spice, I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I will definitely keep you guys updated if there's a lot of spice in this, just so that you are aware, because I definitely would have preferred to know how much spice was in certain books, SJM. But yeah, so those are the 4 books that I have bought so far, and I have received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books from publishers. The first book I will talk to you about is one I am reading as of right now, and it's sort of falling apart. Like, I just broke the spine. It's The Cleopatras by Lloyd Llewellyn Jones. This is a nonfiction, and it's from Basic Books. It comes out in the summer of this year. I don't remember the exact date. May 21st, 2020. Hey, that's 10 days before my birthday. Oh, sick. Maybe I'll get this as a birthday present. The physical copy, that is, the finished copy. Because I would be curious to see, because there's no index in this, but anyways. So, yeah, so this actually follows not just Cleopatra VII, who we most famously know to have been romancing with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, but also the 6 Cleopatras before her, because Cleopatra was a quote-unquote family name as a first name, because we have the family names as the last names, right? But in this case, it was the first name, and it means the pride of the father, Kleos, meaning pride, pater, patra, pater, meaning father, so glory of the father, glory to the father, that kind of thing. So it's really interesting, it's really good. So the author is a professor at the University of Wales, and he is Welsh, and the way he writes is so concise and specific and so easy to read. Like, I don't think I've read so much of a fiction book ever, because I am so into this, and I've been like tabbing, I've been underlining, I've been writing stuff in the margins. As I said, I'm a classicist. I really don't mind tabbing or annotating or writing in my books. I know it's not for everyone, but as a classicist, it's sort of ingrained in our brain that you have to dissect things, you have to annotate them, you have to write them. Like, write your thoughts, write your feelings, write your theories, all that stuff. So it's just sort of natural for me to write in books where I find things interesting, and I find things and I find new things, and I explore new things. So for me, it's totally normal. I literally do not bat an eye. The only thing that I will bat an eye about is I do prefer annotating paperbacks and keeping a hardcover as pristine as possible. I'm not gonna say no to annotating a hardback, but if you buy it for me, I will annotate it. If I buy it, I'm not gonna annotate it. If I buy the paperback, on the other hand, I'll be fine with annotating it. But yes, so yeah, this is really interesting. Highly recommend keeping an eye out for it. It comes out in May. For those that want a very pretty concise history of the Cleopatras, not just Cleopatra the Seventh. She does have her own chapter, but yeah, and any further reading will be in like the bibliography and the useful materials section, and it has a family tree, it has maps. Highly recommend. I am so happy that the publisher sent me this. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm ridiculously happy. The next book, the funny thing about this one is, for those that watched my bookshelf tour, I actually have 2 copies of it. One is the finished copy, and the other is the ARC. So now I'm torn. Do I give away the ARC and keep the finished copy, or do I give away the finished copy and keep the ARC, or do I just keep both? Because these are hard to come by. ARCs are not easy to come by, and this is a pretty high in demand book. However, I don't want to be paying a lot of money for a physical copy. So for now, I'm going to keep these. But as I said in my bookshelf tour video, if you do have the ARCs that I've been looking for, do send me a DM on Instagram. I'm open to trading, as long as you pay for shipping, because ain't nobody got time for that. So yes, An Education Malice. I completely forgot to tell you what this was about. I also have no idea what it's about, except that it's sapphic, and that it's dark academia, and it's set in Massachusetts. And it's like this ancient school, and there's an academic rivalry, and they get tangled in a sinister game of politics, bloodthirsty professors, and dark magic. Laura and Carmilla must decide how much they are willing to sacrifice in their ruthless pursuit of knowledge. So this is by the author of A Dowry of Blood, which I think is the Dracula's Bride's retelling, if I remember correctly. I've been doing a lot of talking. Wow. The next book I have is a trilogy that I really need to get to. I started the first book. In my defense, I started the first book. I just got sidetracked. But I got a finished copy of Trials of Empire by Richard Swan. Thank you, Orbit. You guys clearly love me and fulfill my dreams of having full bookshelves. So, Trials of Empires, this is the 3rd book, and I can't really tell you a lot, except what I know about the first book. The first book follows our main character, Helena. She's the narrator, and she introduces us to this justice. Justices are how the emperor controls the regions that he has a hold over, and they serve as judge, jury, and executioner. As I said, I really don't know much about this because I haven't read the other 2 books, but yes, that's basically it. So she's basically reminiscing, it's older Helena, reminiscing on her time as an apprentice to this Sir Conrad Runvalt. And I think this is where sort of shit hits the fan, to put it simply, but I am excited because I have all 3 books, and so I don't have to buy any of them. Listen, when I tell you books are expensive in Canada, I'm not kidding. I'm really not. And as someone who works on minimum wage, I do not have the money to buy books every month. The next book is an ARC. And I'm actually pretty stoked to read this because this is definitely something different. I love, I forget what the genre is called, but I love books that have letters in them. They're like letters, and I really liked how you lose the time war, how to win the time war. I don't remember what it's called, but that one book, right, that blew up. Yeah. So this is a letter to the luminous deep. So basically what happens is, as far as I can understand, is that E and Scholar Clell start interacting with each other. They start sending each other messages, and then they disappear. And then the sibling of E and the sibling of Scholar Clell have to figure out what happens. And there's, I think, romance. It's giving very romance cover, I think. You know what it also reminds me of? It reminds me of that one octopus book. Bright Remarkable Creature or something like that. Apparently it's really good. I'm gonna put that on my TBR. I've been avoiding it, but I'm gonna put it on my TBR. So yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you to Orbit. This is out April 24th, April 23rd, 2024. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is out February 2024. Oh, it's out already. Funny thing is, this one's out already, but anyways. The last book that I'm going to talk to you about is the March book club pick for the Museum Society book club that I run. Thank you very much. If you can't tell, give me a second. If you can't tell, the book club is incredibly chill. If you don't want to read the book, I'm not gonna like be offended. Like, I really don't care. If you do like the book, please let me know, because like, yay. But I mean, I'm not gonna harp on you to read the book, because sometimes I don't read them either. So the last one I got is Fathom Foe by Eliza Chan. Eliza Chan. This is already out, I believe. Again, let's be already out. Oh, February 27th. It's out tomorrow. It's the 26th, but this is out tomorrow. This is basically set in a city that's half flooded, and there is half sirens, there's sea witches, kelpies, kappas, basically a bunch of mythological sea creatures, and there are water dragons too. And so Mira, our half siren, our main character, is promoted to captain as the border guard, and she wants to build the relations between the humans and the sea folk, basically, or the Fathom folk. And we have a new arrival who is a water dragon named Nami, and she throws herself in with the anti-human extremist group, and Mira has to basically defend everyone from said group, and they need to become friends, basically, and work with each other. I'm gonna prop it up here. There you go. The cover is gorgeous. Thank you to Orbit. I feel incredibly lucky to have bagged this, because I'm incredibly excited to read it. This is the March book club pick. And yeah, so that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed that mini book haul. I don't do those very often on this channel, just because I don't really I'm not able to do them. That's literally it. I can't do TBRs either. Setting limits for myself, setting specific books up, it's hard enough to read stuff for university, because a lot of it is just like boring scholarly jargon, but I just have difficulty setting TBRs unless I really get into the book. So yes, so those are the books that I have acquired over the past 2 months ish. I'm gonna toss them on my bed now. Oops, they're fine. They got tossed on the bed, it's okay. My bookshelves are full. I don't have space for another shelf, unfortunately. As I said, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. and hit the bell icon to be reminded of, to be told every time that I post. Don't want to jinx it, but I am trying to get back into this. It's been fun filming videos, not gonna lie. So yes, please do follow me on all my socials, and I will see you in the next one. All right, happy reading!